Hey everyone, it is Racquet here. First episode of Racquet Rambles. Apologise that I'm in the same getup as my previous video, but I'm motivated to talk more, and let's get these first episodes started, shall we? Pardon me? So this is of course a series where I talk about my life experiences. I could talk about anything I really want, really. God, pardon me, burped already twice in the goddamn video. And as I promised, the very first episode will be talent is both a blessing and a curse. Now this is a very interesting topic to me, and it really touches me personally. Right in the feels. I don't want you to feel sorry for me, I want you to learn from me. That's what this whole series is about. So let's go back to the past. Why does this subject exactly go close to me? Here's the story. So, back when I was young, I'm still young, I'm 19 years of age by the way. I look a little bit older, but that's not the point of the story. About year 4 to about year 7 to 8, that was when I was in my prime physical peak, I would consider. And I was very, very naturally gifted at anything that had to do with athletics, or like sport in general. Anything that required running, basically, I was freaking amazing at. But that, to me, that was a curse. At the time I thought it was a blessing. But to me, right now, in hindsight, it was a curse. Back in year 4, all the way through primary school actually, I was very, very cocky. I would look down on people. I wouldn't say I was a bully. I was never been a bully. But I was very confident in myself, and when people were to challenge me, I knew I was the top dog. And I think I would impose that on them as well. And say, no, you're nothing compared to me, let's be honest. For the most part, it probably was because I hit puberty earlier than really anyone. Like, started growing a mustache in freaking year 2, man. Pretty crazy, actually. So I was, like, physically bigger than everyone for, like, the most part until year 6. Till high school, actually. But where are we going here? Let's talk about more specific things in relation to my performance in athletics, which is my prime. People may think it would be tennis. No, athletics I did way better than I did in tennis. I was initially going to call myself Bolt, but I thought that'd be too easy. In athletics, every time I would look to the left, to the right, when I was on the starting line, I would see people who were fitter, bigger, stronger, more confident than me. They would be in the correct stance. They would be on the start-up, jump-up pads, I forgot what they're called, the blocks. I wouldn't be on one. They had proper athletic shoes. I wouldn't wear those. I was racing in Kmart shoes with holes in them. I was scared before every single race. I really was. Because I looked to either side of me, and everyone physically and mentally stronger than me. That's what I thought. They worked every single day of their week to be the best in their sport. They have coaches. They have sponsorships. I didn't have any of that. What I did have was talent. A lot of it. A lot of natural talent. People say talent doesn't exist. I can personally say it does exist. It really exists. Is talent the best? This is why I'm making this video. It's both a blessing and a curse, as I do believe it has its cap. So, when the race would start, this was till year 4 to about year 7. Once again, more the physical imposement stands out in high school, because to be honest, in primary school I was bigger than everyone. I grew a lot earlier than a lot of people in my primary schools. But coming into year 7, where like the big boys started playing, and I was in this all sports high school, it's where things became a little bit scary. But I would still beat people in races. I would break records. It was crazy. I would see myself off to Hobart, but that year it got cancelled. Fuck you. For nationals. it was crazy to think that everyone was working so much harder than me, but I was beating them. And it leached into other aspects of my life too. I thought I was naturally I thought I was naturally gifted at things that I weren't naturally gifted at. Because I was so goddamn good at athletics. I was fantastic at it. That's not my ego talking, that's just a fact. And you know what the problem is? Year 8, or I believe maybe at the end of year 7, I ended up fracturing my patella. It really hurt me. It hurt me big time. Sorry. And basically, after that, I never really raced the same. It was a wake-up call. It really was. You know what the problem is? I think it's karma. I think it's a lesson. It was a message for me to work to where I was before so I can achieve my success. But I didn't. I was doing the same thing I was before. But realistically, I wasn't the same person. And I couldn't be the same person by just being naturally gifted anymore because of my injury. It was a message. I feel like it is. You know, I'm not religious or anything, but to me that felt very special. But I failed that test. I did. I could have been the next big thing in athletics. I got interviewed in a magazine, this was before the injury. I said, Mr. Alexander Fenech, how are you so naturally gifted? You must put so much effort and work. Do you have any coaches? How much do you train? What's your diet look like? I would sit at home playing video games, eating honey soy chicken chips, 2 bloody packets of them a day. I would have freaking 2 cans of soft drink. I've had a Slurpee every day. And I'd still look very good. My metabolism was great, thank God for that. It's catching up to me now. But you know what I replied? I played a lot of tips. I played tag a bunch. Context, people don't understand what that means. It's a playground sort of game where, you know, someone is tagging you, they're it, and you have to chase them. It's like a game where you start chasing each other. That's where I got my natural skill from. That's what I said, at least. I didn't hone it. I was breaking records without doing anything about it. I wasn't on a diet. I didn't have any coaches. I didn't have any special freaking shoes. I had holes in my shoes. I wasn't fitter than anyone else. I already explained my dieting issues. I was just so much naturally talented than everyone else. It existed. It was crazy. But when I fell off that pedestal, when there was a obstacle in my way on that road, I played the same cards. I didn't play any different cards. I needed to play different cards. They were there in my hand. I had the opportunity to. I could have pushed myself to further go through, be back to my former self and above. I don't like thinking about the past too much. I don't, because I can't change things. I wish I could. I think everyone wishes that. The thing is, I think to myself, it still haunts me. Alex, what if you trained when you were in your prime? You already were at national level. You could have been the best sprinter Australia has ever produced if you trained. How was I beating kids with Kmart shoes, not using blocks, not on a diet, have no coach? How was I doing that? Imagine if I trained harder than those kids too. I could have been one of the best athletes. That's not my ego talking. I actually think that's true. And it's sad to think about it. And when people ask what the source of my depression is, that was one of the beginning factors. It was when I got my injury, when I didn't regain my spot. It made me think, who am I now? Who am I? People would walk up to me. They'd be like, oh, you're Alex, that really, really fast kid. After I got my injury, the same people wouldn't talk to me anymore. Because I wasn't breaking records. I wasn't the same athlete. It was never the same. Sure, those people weren't probably worth talking to, if that was the case, if they were using me for my fame or whatever. I agree with that. But man, it hurt me at the time. My social structure collapsed. It really burnt me. What's the moral of the story? I've rambled for a little bit. What's the moral of the story? It's pretty simple. Use what you have, you're talented in, or work towards something that you want to do. This is mainly for talent. If you're talented at something, you're going to be naturally better than other people. And if you work harder when you have talent, I think this is a fact, you're going to be better than people who have no talent and will work just as hard. I think Roger Federer from tennis is a prime example of that. He never worked as hard as Rafael Nadal. Never did. He's a very elegant player. His rallies were a lot shorter. He was just very natural at the game. I'm not saying Roger Federer never worked hard, god damn it. But Rafa worked a lot harder than Roger did. He changed from a right-hander to a left-hander because he thought that was a lot stronger for tennis. So, because at the time there were a lot of one-handed backhander players, and he felt he could abuse the topspin lob to the backhand side to beat a lot of one-handed backhand players. And he did, for the most part, dominate Roger for a lot of the mid parts of their career. But Roger had a lot more natural talent. He did. And that's why he beat Sampras. That's why he has the most Grand Slams at the moment. Because you can just tell with the way that he plays, he's elegant. So swift. It exists. It existed with me. I'm not comparing myself to goddamn Roger Federer. Because he actually worked. I'm nowhere near that level. I was no way near that level. But thinking about it, if I trained, I could have been on an Olympic stool with a medal around my neck saying, Alexander Finek, you've been here. You've gotten something to take back home. You've got the gold. Could have happened. To think that I had accolades without trying is crazy to me. So crazy. We'll talk about this not that much in depth, but the moral of the story is work your talent, and your talent will work for you. Very simple. The quote does make sense. You need to be passionate, you need to be motivated. You can't half-ass it like I did. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I want you to learn. That's not the whole goal of the series is. I don't want you to pity me. I don't want you to feel guilty for me. I want you to learn. I want you to be the best possible person you can be. I'm trying to be the best possible person I can be by making these types of videos. By creating more content because people want to enjoy them. I enjoy making content. And I think it's a very good habit for me to try and work hard to achieve something because I haven't really done that much in my life. I carried this aspect to different things, as I said. Even though it dissipated, my natural talent was gone, I still thought that it existed in other areas of my life, and it didn't. So I didn't work hard, and as a result I failed at certain things. I could maybe apply to my coaching career in Overwatch. I didn't work as hard as other coaches. And goddamn, I wasn't naturally talented at it either. I can analyze. I can coach. But I didn't put in the effort to do it. I'm sorry for that. It's all about the work you put in. I'm figuring that out now. When I have put it in, I've done well. I've done well. This is just something you have to learn in life. When it kicks you down, just got to get back up. Look for greatness. Trust me. Hone your craft, please. It will do so well for you. Do so well for you. Not sure what else I can say. I don't want to make this series too long. Just sort of like a little lesson. A little bit of a story about myself. Hope you guys enjoyed that. It's called the very first episode of Racquet Rambles. About my sporting story. Why talent is both a blessing and a curse. It can be fantastic, but you have to use it. You have to use it and make it better. Don't be complacent. Complacency is absolutely awful. And being naturally talented at something will force you to be complacent a lot of the time. But you can't accept it. You can never accept it. That's what the difference is between the good and the best. The great and the best, I should say. I'm happy with this. Make sure you all have a wonderful day, morning, night, wherever you may live, wherever you are watching this video. I appreciate all the support. The series will be continuing. Give me an idea of what I should talk about in the future. It should be an educational series about me helping people. I'm able to talk about anything you guys want. Thank you very much.